Hey guys, welcome back. It's Trial. I decided to finally do a guide on the plague. And real quick, if you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos if this one helps you out. But without further ado, the plague is a tall killer who has a normal terror radius and a normal movement speed uh, compared to other killers, kind of the default for most killers. And her power is a projectile vomit that will infect survivors and objects that can be interacted with, such as generators, totems, door switches, chests, you name it. Anything that the survivor can interact with can be infected, which will increase their infection meter. Uh, Eventually, the survivor, after they become infected and they sprint, that'll increase the infection meter. If you vomit on them more, that'll infect them more. And also, if they work on generators, it'll infect them more. And eventually, when that meter hits max, they will become broken. And what broken is it means they cannot heal. They're injured and cannot heal until the broken status effect has been removed from them. And the only way to remove this broken status effect from being infected completely is to cleanse at a well, and there's just going to be wells scattered across the map. And when they do cleanse at these wells, they will become fully healed, not just remove broken. They actually do become fully healed. But one good thing about a completely infected survivor is that they can spread their infection once they're broken. So if you just puked on somebody and let them wander off, they can do generators, they can unhook people, heal people, and it will not spread this infection. But once they're broken, they begin to vomit and they get the little broken symbol next to their icon on the bottom left. And anything they touch that can be interacted with will become infected. So if a survivor is on a generator and they start working on the generator, that clean survivor will also become infected. Or if you have an infected survivor that is hooked and a clean one comes and unhooks, the clean one will be infected. It spreads with any kind of interaction. Uh, Back to them cleansing the broken status effect. Once they do so, the fountain will go from having normal looking water in it to looking like there's blood or some kind of red fluid inside of it, and you can go up to these wells that are cleansed in and upgrade your power into a ranged instant damage attack. It's the same kind of it's the same projectile vomit, but now it's red and it will do damage on impact. It does not infect whenever it's upgraded. So if they cleanse and then you upgrade and everybody's clean and you vomit on them, it will hurt them, but it will not infect them until you go back to your normal projectile vomit, which is green. Uh, Moving on to perks. This is just kind of what I pieced together in one of my videos. I feel like Ruin is very effective on the Plague because, of course, it degenerates generators whenever you are not working on them. And max level, that's 200% regression speed. So what's that's going to do is a survivor will be working on a generator. You come along, you scare them off of it because they don't want anything to do with the plague. Nobody does. So you just quickly look over, vomit on the generator. It's infected now, so nobody wants to touch it. They just have to watch it regress unless they want to be infected. That in and of itself is just really, really strong. Of course, they can cleanse Ruin, which will remove all of that pressure. But thanks to the devs, we now have a killer perk that prevents that for an amount of time, depending on whether or not survivors want to hunt down all the hex totems, or whether or not they get lucky enough to cleanse Undying. Our next perk is Hex Undying, which is just a totem perk. It's a hex totem perk that will prevent any other hex totem from being cleansed until there's either no more totems for it to move to, or Hex Undying has been cleansed. So there's 5 totems in total in every match. Assuming you bring Ruin and Undying, there's only 3 more left. If they cleanse Ruin, it can jump to every one of those 3 until there's nowhere else to go. Or they could cleanse Hex Undying and then cleanse Ruin, and it'll stop it then and there. But that combo right there, I'm sure you people have seen, has been pretty strong. But it's just there to extend the lifetime of Ruin so that you can keep your pressure. The next perk, I personally think Thanatophobia is pretty good. This is a perk that is going to increasingly slow the survivors as they're injured, meaning they get, it says here, a 5% penalty to a maximum of 20% to repair, sabotage, and totem cleansing speeds. So that's going to be 20% more time they take to do these actions. And since they're broken when you infect them, they can't heal, so that is a permanent Thanatophobia unless they go and cleanse. And this basically forces survivors to go cleanse so that you can upgrade your power and down them with your upgraded power. I feel like it's a really good perk on the Plague. And for the final perk, I feel like you need some kind of information, and I tried for barbecue and chili, but really I guess any information perk will work, whatever you feel most comfortable with. I have Thrilling Tremors, so I'm going to be using that, and that's just going to, every time I pick up a survivor, if there is someone working on a generator, or I guess not every time I pick up a survivor, every 60 seconds when Thrilling Tremors is active and I pick up a survivor, any other survivors working on generators will be basically, like, it'll make the generator's aura red and block every other generator that isn't being worked on, and they will appear as white, so that I can tell which generators are being worked on currently and which ones aren't. So if they're on the generator, I know where to go next. It does have a big weakness of if the survivors find out you have Thrilling Tremors, they can just let go of the generator as you pick somebody up, wait for it to go away, and obviously you won't know they're on the generator because it'll be white. But this is the build that I feel like would be very strong on the Plague. Feel free to edit and adjust as you feel. Up next, I think add-ons. Not too many here that I feel like are that great, but definitely the most important one, I think, is Black Incense. This is going to be an add-on that whenever they are broken and they start vomiting, every time they vomit, you will see that survivor's aura for 5 seconds through walls across the map. It's got no distance, it's got no parameter, it's other than they have to vomit. And I'm not sure how often they vomit. It's like it's a varying time, like every couple of seconds, but it's not a consistent time. It's not like every 5 seconds, every 10 seconds. It's between like 5 and 20 seconds or so they could vomit and at any time. But nevertheless, this perk allows you to chase, allows you to find, allows you to, you know, keep your pressure on, because you can see these survivors as they vomit. The other iridescent add-on, the iridescent seal, also useful. It's going to make it so that every time they complete a generator, you get your power upgraded into the instant damage one. The downside to this perk is that you move slower whenever you're holding your Corrupt Purge, which I believe is once you've fully charged it, not during the charge. I'm not entirely sure on that. But the other downside is it makes the Corrupt Purge last for less time. I think the normal is a minute, and this reduces it by a decent amount. So you will have, this isn't just on when you when they do a generator and it activates the add-on. It's any time that you upgrade your power, it lasts less time. So it's kind of a, do you feel like you're gonna use your power a lot, or I don't know. It's up to you whether or not to get this. I personally don't use it too often, but it is still a very useful perk. Moving down to the purple or the very rare, I don't really see many of these being too useful other than maybe the emetic, the vile emetic. All of these are very helpful. It basically just, it makes your infectious vomit more effective at infecting things and survivors, meaning they will become broken faster. The rest of them I feel like aren't too helpful. So I'm just going to move on to the rare or the green. And again, we've got more emetic here. Just a slightly worse version. I would just say go for these apples for sure. They let you start the trial with one of your wells already corrupted so you can upgrade your power. The green one also gives you a longer duration of infection on interactable objects. And then you have the downgraded yellow version, which is just start with one extra pool. And then maybe... I'd say maybe these charge speed upgrades are definitely viable. That means you can charge up your vomit and release it faster than default, which is very helpful because it lets you infect more often, infect faster, take less time to vomit on objects and people alike. And I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave it at that. I don't think the rest of them are really worth talking about too much. So what I'm gonna bring into this game is probably gonna be the Vile Emetic and the Black Incense. And let's see if I can put all of this into practice. Okay, I forgot to tell you guys about the strengths and weaknesses about this killer. Her strengths are that she can infect an object to stall the survivors. Healing is basically out the window because when they're infected, they are broken and they cannot use medkits. They can't heal each other, so they have to use these wells to cleanse and heal back to full health. You can infect one survivor, and that could lead to multiple infections if they're not careful and they interact with things other survivors are on. I'm pretty sure you are able to puke on hooked and downed survivors. They don't actually have to be up and moving around to be infected. You can obviously upgrade your power to give a pretty hard to dodge damaging ability for, I think, a minute is the default time. And just overall, her kit allows her to stall the game if you build her correctly. The weaknesses, we've got she's only lethal with her upgrade. The normal vomit, it can get them broken, but it will never down anybody. Another weakness is survivors can cleanse tactically, meaning they can take their infection all the way across the map to a gen that's already done or out of the way and cleanse at a fountain there. So you have to cross the map away from what you're trying to guard or, whatever you're trying to achieve. Survivors that are really good at looping sometimes will not cleanse. They will hold on to their infection so that you can't upgrade your power and you have to chase them. Obviously, the elephant in the room, you have to go and collect your power from these wells. So that could waste a lot of your time. And I think the final weakness is going to be that she is a default speed killer, which isn't in and of itself a weakness. It's just that a lot of killers with movement in their kit really do well because they can cross the map quickly, not waste any time traveling, and keep pressure up. But anyway, let's get into this gameplay. I'm going to be playing at the Dead Dog Saloon. Let's see what we can do. Hear this gen up here. I did not hit it with any of that. It is infected. Ruin's going to regress that. She's infected. I think what I'm going to do is just try to hit her and move on my way. I think I can shoot over that cactus, unfortunately. But she's going to be sick now. She's already broken because she stood there for me to vomit on her, so I'm going to try to go for her down. She had sprint burst. There's no dead hard to worry about. They've finished the generator. Looks like somebody else might have been on that, but they are also infected, so still not terrible for me. Thrilling Trimmers is telling me nobody's on the other side of the map. Nobody's working on any other generators. I see somebody here. And as you can see, I can see everybody that vomits for 5 seconds at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and break this door for later. There's one cleanse. Looks like it was the person that I saw with my ability. It was an unhook. She cleansed, but she's sick again already. Thanks to my black incense, I was able to find her. Actually, she's not even fully broken. I'm not sure why I was still able to see her there. Nevertheless, it got us a down. Let's see if we can find her in the grass. Basically, I just want to keep puking on every generator I come across, keeping my pressure high. So they either have to work on it while they're broken, or they have to be infected. The Natophobia is going to slow them down all the while. I can see she's not taking the window. Alright, I'm gonna break this to save me some time later on. You should take the window this time. Maybe not. Not sure why she didn't take the window and why she stopped for me. I thought maybe she did hard and I was making a mistake, but I'm guessing not. Link tells me no generators are being worked on. I'm gonna go, yep, never mind, this one's being worked on. I'm coming over here, puking on it, and I'm gonna let Ruin do its job. That was my fault for doing that. I'll have to force this pallet out. Alright. Back to the killer shack grind. Actually, no, I hear someone here. Hear and see. There should be a pallet. Maybe not. She has to take the window. But the Dead Heart's not going to allow her to take a fast vault, so I get her there. As you can see, she was infected and she vaulted that window, and it's now infected. So if another healthy survivor were to vault that, it would infect them. It was a big waste of a god pallet. She could have made distance for me instead of wasting that. Act like I go this way, turn around. I'm just gonna pick her up and hook her right here next to this. No generators. We got somebody up top, I guess, waiting for this generator. She's already sick though, so I'm not gonna waste my time vomiting. I see her, she sees me. Another door I need to break. Just for later, in case they decide to vault through that window at any given point in time. Another gen done. I haven't used my upgraded power yet. I have it right here on this porch. I think I'm actually going to go ahead and do that, wasting my own time here by not. Now, when she vomits, I should see where she's at. Not going to be able to hit anything with that, unfortunately. I'd like to get this one because she's already injured. She's going to use the window. Not going to get lucky with that either. So what you want to do is hit these survivors. Ah, I can't look up high enough. I've already wasted too much time chasing this person. Thought I'd fake her out. I'll give up on this chase if she goes back. Oh, she outlasted the upgraded corrupt purge. I won't make that. And I missed. Very, very good looper that I really am wasting my entire game with here. Don't do what I do. This could have cost me 2 generators by the look of it over there. I'll rush over there and see if I can stop it, hopefully. You have to actually be able to land the Corrupt Purge, believe it or not, in order to get the damage from it. I'll go ahead and get her infected before we do anything else. So take this window that I thought was around the corner. Put the pallet down. I actually want to check this generator. We're cleansing every which way. What you just heard was my power upgraded. I wasn't at a fountain, and that's because they've cleansed so much that it has actually filled my power bar, or filled up all of the wells so that they couldn't cleanse anymore, and it doesn't want that to be a thing. So it just goes ahead and throws the power onto you, throws the upgrade onto you, so that they have more stuff to cleanse with. You never want this to happen. She's trapped in this room. You are actually able to puke through survivors, so if there's one standing in front of you and one on the other side of them, you can hit both of them with the same line of vomit. It'll go through and infect multiple. I'll go ahead and break this, it's a decent pellet. There's another cleanse. I really need to be grabbing these power-ups. There she goes off to do something. Drilling tells me they are on 2 generators. Maybe not. It didn't look like it activated. That's another thing, you gotta pay attention to the cooldown of it. Go ahead. I'll puke on this generator. If they really want to do it, they'll have to be infected for it. Same with this one. Fortunately, nobody wanted to waste their time by cleansing Ruin. Actually, not sure how that one missed. Alright, she's broken. She's gonna have to go for these pallets. And it's gonna go ahead and block my path. I got a clicky click. I don't think she's got dead hard because I've managed to hit her twice at very close range without really waiting on that. Sounds like that gen back here is going. Everybody else has now become infected completely. I'm gonna actually vomit on this. And the next one and the next one. We're just gonna go ahead, infect, and then I might grab my power. It did not, yeah, it did hit. I think this is a survivor I don't want to chase. Alright, got her infected. Go ahead and activate this. The last thing I really want to chase anybody around is this big saloon because it's got so many window vaults in it that it's going to waste my time to the very last second. She healed herself, so that's pretty much a wasted medkit. Once she runs around or does anything too long, it'll infect her completely. This one is no longer infected. There, she's broken now. Can I see her anywhere? There she is. I think by the time I get over there, my power will be gone, but I still know where she's at. I also know that there's not a pallet for her to use over here. I don't need to hit her with this. I just take the swing. Gotta be very quick because I'm sure they're working on a generator. Maybe not. Still, I'm gonna take the time to keep my pressure up. Whenever you see it say contagious on the left there, it means you've infected something. And since the generator is the only thing there, it lets me know that I've infected the generator. Now, one of the healthy survivors has to come and unhook the infected one, and that will cause them to be infected in turn. Somebody was here. I see scratch marks, very fresh scratch marks. Circle this, see if I can follow them. There's a Meg running across the map. That's one of the two accounted for. Was not able to glide past that barrel. Thought maybe I could make that tiny little step, and I did not. That's fine. We're chasing the Meg. The other one got infected. The Nia is actually up there. I see the scratch marks back here. Here we go. There's another cleanse. I'm very bad at not upgrading my power when I should. Alright, I managed to infect her. Let's see if we can catch back up with Meg. Looking for the... there she is. Somebody cleansed back here. There's Nia. We got 2 out of the 3 back here doing nothing, so we're not really feeling pressured. Pallet's still here. It was looking kind of grim, but I'm feeling better, unless that Claudette's off soloing the gen. It does not look like it. It doesn't mean it's not true. Thrilling can be a little tricky if they know it's a thing and they don't grab the generator while I have somebody in my hand. Once again, I'm just going to go ahead and infect, infect, infect. I missed that one. You also got to get used to the way the vomit moves. Right. I have not seen, I think it's a Claudette. Belle. No, it's another Nia. Haven't seen her in a little while. She's not infected, she is not doing a generator. Which really bugs me. I think the hatch might have already spawned. Just look for the hatch. There it is. All right. Thankfully, this Nia has crawled towards it so that I am able to move her back to a hook that I can guard it from. Pretty sure this, I'm not sure if we had 2 identical Nias, but I'm thinking this one's dead. Yeah, she's dead. I infected the door. I'm gonna leave one infected, and here we go. There's a good dead hard, but I think that is all she's gonna have. My plan was, if she didn't come to the hatch, I was going to infect one of the gates. The other one is probably across the map that way. And I was going to go stand near the other one, and if she got infected, I'd know she was over here. It looks like that's going to be a 4K. That was not 100% perfect gameplay on my part. I definitely chased one of the Neos too long. I did not, by no means, a sniper with this projectile vomit. If I was, I might have been able to down them faster. Obviously, you don't want it to force your power onto you, because that means that all of your fountains have been cleansed and you get one upgraded power out of it. You want to make sure that you're picking those up as you're going. I have a bad habit of not doing those things. But there you go. My attempt at a guide for the plague. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I will see all of you in the next one.